as a excellence in facilitation sort of leader, are you noticing a big difference or specific challenges maybe related to the virtual environment in respect to what you had seen when people would get together in person?
For sure. It's almost like a totally different world. I'll give you a couple examples of clients that we're working with now. One is a very large national media company, and what they're finding is that their sales organization needs to shift dramatically, where they could, make calls, be in person, develop relationships that way. Two things are happening. Now they can't do that. And two, their buyers are getting more sophisticated. They can find more information online. So their salespeople have to get a lot better at not only just interacting virtually, but having different kinds of conversations. Buyers are more sophisticated, so sellers have to be even more skillful in how they interact with people. So the world is completely different now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like there are real evident challenges. As someone who works in sales, I can definitely relate to that example. So kind of digging in a bit more on that, is there certain facilitation skills that we should be looking to develop to kind of increase our capabilities and especially as talent folks? I think a lot of times we forget that the more we can impact the business, the more important we become to the organization. So, just in the world of facilitation and just communication in general, what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah. So about 10, 12 years ago, we really distilled what does facilitation excellence look like in any function anywhere around the world. And we arrived at 10 contributions. We call them contributions. They're kind of like gifts you bring into any engagement. Because what we found was that most people, and I think this is true for many of us, we rely on our content knowledge, whether that's HR knowledge, HRIS knowledge, finance knowledge, and we often use that as kind of how we start and end conversations. It's around just our knowledge and skill. And what we found was that that's important, but it's not enough. There are these contributions from mindset to process. How do you help groups through a process or a meeting, making sure it stays on time, but also on track with what people really want, and balancing depth of discussion with forward movement. And so these 10 contributions are really now what we look for, and time again seem to matter the most in terms of the most successful salespeople, the most successful consultants, the most successful HR people who, like you said, have that bent towards how can I frame things in a way that translates to the business and business impact.
I definitely know, as someone who works in sales, leaning on the content is comfortable.
Yeah.
It's where you can speak in volumes and a depth that the person you're working with will appreciate to a certain extent.